Whoa, Vicky comes for Lil Nas X. Andy Cohen comes for Howie Mandel. And the Housewives will be about to get into it. We got a special guest tonight. Stay tuned. What up, y'all? Welcome to this weekly review. You already know it's your boy DJ Jesse J. Happy Thursday. I got my home girl, Miss Courtney Stewart, in the building. And Gigi, what up?
And Gigi, all a mess like usual.
That's fine. Let me tell you guys something. Like, the way my days be set up, I'll be up so early, and then 3 o'clock come, and I'm like, I know the way 7 o'clock about to pop up, and it just be popping. Like,
It sure does.
it be my Thursdays be long. Like I be looking like, dang, it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. Dang, it's only 12. And then as soon as 3 hits, I'm like, I just know this gonna just wipe on real quick. From the Everybody is Terrible podcast, we got Liam coming in, and he'll join us in just a little bit. But before we get into Housewives stuff, because we got some Housewives topics to talk about before we get into the episodes, I just wanted to know. Well, I kind of want to just talk about real quick. I don't know if you guys saw, Courtney, did you see that? You know who Woe Vicky is? I know we've spoken about her in the past, but
I know who she is, and I did not see nothing because I don't be looking for her ever.
well, I was never looking for her, but she came across. She apparently was on someone's podcast, and he had asked her about Little Nas X, and she kind of dropped some tea. I just feel like, I don't know. She said, and let me not even start with what I feel like. Let me just say what happened. So he had asked her about Lil Nas X, and she brought up that she knew some tea on him, and that she felt that Lil Nas X actually isn't even gay because she knows somebody who went to high school with him, and he wasn't gay in high school.
Whatever.
Girl,
Whatever.
now
You know how many dudes
I
in
just
high
want,
school?
please, I want to hear from a straight woman. What? Please go ahead, say it, because I
Do
don't want
you
to even.
know how many dudes weren't gay in high school that were definitely gay?
Yeah, me. Hey. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just.
That's terrible. That's a terrible argument to be like, yeah, I knew somebody he knew in high school, and they said he wasn't gay. Girl, bye. Stop. Leave him alone.
Like, look, and now she a born again Christian or whatever it is. She says she is like, I guess born again Christians be out here doing ass poses and tattoos. Like, I just feel like before you talk about, like, I just feel like we need to like focus on ourselves. Like, if you had some real tea. You know what I mean? Like, if because she was talking about Illuminati and how, he needs Jesus. Yes, when it comes to like the devil stuff and the worshiping and the twerking, like, all right, fine. But like, and I don't know if she was really fully saying about him being gay as what needed Jesus. But like, this is how y'all be turning people away from the church. And not away from the church. Let me not even say away from the church. This is how y'all be turning people away from God. And so to be sitting up here still doing some of the things that you do, and you talking about some fake tea about why this man was maybe acting straight, maybe he was bisexual in high school, whatever the case is, the fact that you think that this, I don't know, it blew my mind. And I know, all right, the other thing was, did you hear how everyone's coming at Chloe Bailey or Beyonce because they said that Chloe Bailey is album flop?
I think that we're in a time where we all have too much time.
Mm.
And we need to find some new damn hobbies because they were coming for her, acting like Beyonce should have done more to promote her. I don't even listen to music that be released nowadays. And I have heard and seen Chloe Bailey everywhere. like all the time. She's been on talk shows. She is all over social media. I know the album did not chart wonderfully or as she would have maybe liked to with as much as we see her. But to put that on Beyonce when clearly there's artists that are constantly trying to drop stuff and do stuff that we never hear a peep out of. We hear nothing about them and don't even know they had an album and all these things. And clearly somebody putting some money behind her and helping push.
Like, I love Chloe. I think she has a great voice. Personally, I think the album isn't bad. It's not something that it's not like I'm just not excited for it, you know, as like I wanted to be. I just also think like if you're an artist and you're putting a certain type of music out and then you drop an album and that album don't sound like the music you was putting out, like, yeah.
But what the album sound like, Jesse? Because I haven't listened. I need to go listen to it. Because what she's been putting out, I'm not even into. So maybe I'll be into the album.
I mean, I think the thing is like, the first song we got was that Have Mercy song, right? So that was a little club bopper. Like it had like a little dance. Like there's nothing really giving me that. It's all like that, like soft R&B. Like, and I just wish she was singing a little more. I wish we was hearing.
Well, what is she doing?
I mean, she's singing, but it's like that, like. I don't want to say like it's in the world of like, because it's not giving, it's like a pop version of like Summer Walker, SZA, but not really, but like, I don't know. It's just kind of doing its thing, its own thing, but like, to me, it just doesn't have, boom, a hit on it. Like, it has good songs on it, but there isn't just that like, we just want to grip into something. I just feel like it wasn't there. A real radio friendly, put it on in the club, give us some vocals, some real like boom. I don't know, personally. But I mean I didn't not like it. It's just it was like, okay, cute.
You know, everybody's first album isn't necessarily the best, so maybe, you know, she'll get another chance.
Everyone ain't gonna get a Crazy in Love. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. 20 years later, the business and the environment is entirely different. It's really hard.
But and plus you guys are over here blaming Beyonce when the reality is this woman is focused on, she about to be on tour right now, so that's what she doing. But
yes, and it's not her job, is it? Like,
well, I think that she's somehow there are somehow underneath her in some way. I don't know, but
I think like some kind of entertainment company that like has like, I don't know, whatever.
But at the end of the day, Chloe got to answer to a record label, a real record label that is actually funding the entire project and doing the tours and all that stuff. And so leave Beyonce out of
they are putting her out there. She is getting promotion. Somebody is putting money behind it. She was just on Drew Barrymore's show, child. Like, she's all over the place.
Yeah.
So. Her sister got a movie coming out in a month, and I ain't seen her like I seen Chloe.
Well, I feel like they gotta save it for the Little Mermaid. All right, we got our special guest in the building. Everyone is Terrible podcast. Y'all can go check that out as soon as you're down here. It's great. Actually, it was on a few months ago. Actually, we got Leon Costello in the building. Hey, bud.
Hi.
How are you?
How's everyone?
We good.
So good. Good, so good.
I love the handheld.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, well, you know, hey, I know we used to do Bravo Bitches over on AfterBuzz. It's Bravo Bitches. So I was like, girls trip, and then I seen that you wasn't really, you know, you kind of agreed with Grant last week in the comments talking about you wasn't feeling this season that much with the casting. So I'm very interested to get into some thoughts. But before we do that, I want to jump around with some other hot topics in the Bravo world that have been going on. What's been kind of highlighted this week is that Tom Sandoval went on Howie Mandel's podcast, and everyone was very upset about it. Very upset. And Howie Mandel, the man he is, was very confused. He was like, look, you know, I went to a wedding. I met Tom. I know Lisa Vanderpump. I knew something was going on. My daughter said, hey, this might be a good interview, so I invited him on. And, you know, it's like someone's dad come walking into a room while you're watching Housewives and, like, thinking the person that you hate on the TV isn't that bad. It's like, Dad, you don't even know what you're talking about. Like, that's the reaction Howie's getting. And I just feel like we need to cut Howie Mandel some slack. And Andy Cohen, I'm just looking at you like, how many years of reunions have we side-eyed you for not asking certain questions or having favorites? And so Howie just coming in this from a neutral standpoint, which I think is genuinely fair in a sense, because look, we already want to hang Tom to a cross. So at least give him, a platform to feel safe enough to give his side so that now we can rip it to shreds. That's how I feel. Did you guys listen to the interview? Leon, did you hear the interview? What was your take? I don't know if you guys saw Howie on Extra, but he kind of like came on it like, I'm sorry, but like I was just.
It was also random. It was so random for me. I'm like, I think you nailed it perfectly with like the dad coming into the living room. It was like, when did you get here? What the F are you talking about? I saw clips and I thought it was terrible, obviously. The whole thing is very witch hunty, very vigilante. It's very get Tom, and people cheat. I love Ariana. Like, I feel bad for Ariana. We've all kind of, I think, been in those shoes before, so it sucks. But there's different layers to this onion.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it.
Right? There's different layers. But as far as the Howie Mandel interview, it was so random. It was so off-putting. It was distracting. When I think of Howie Mandel, I think of like Make a Deal and like the fact that he's a germaphobe and he like fist pump everyone because he just can't have anything on his palms, which I think is kind of funny. I didn't see the connection at all. It was very, he might as well, like if he was going to break the rules and piss off Bravo like he did, you should have done it for like Call Her Daddy or something.
Yeah.
Like Howie Mandel.
But I mean, I feel like it's like it felt safe, honestly. Like even Call Her Daddy might have been like, from a female perspective, you're fucked up, like kind of a situation. Yeah. You should have just went live.
And like, why is he talking at all? Like that why is he talking at all? Isn't this like potentially compromising? Because if you're giving information that you basically gave in the reunion and you did a one-on-one with Andy Cohen, like why is he talking at all? Why is this a good plan? Why is this okay? Why is this a good idea?
Again, my theory with all of it is I have two sides of the story. There's a big part of me that feels like, because I don't know if you guys seen on TikTok, there was this girl, she was like, I found the clip that bridged Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to Vanderpump, and it was that scene with Shayna and Brandy, and how Sheena goes in the back and talks to the girls, and they were like, if you're gonna let me get a Saturday night, girl, a Saturday night.
I've been watching since day one. I totally get all that. I think he just wanted to get ahead of get a hold of the steering wheel. It's like the car going out of control.
Well, because he probably knows that it's gonna be edited, like you said, a witch hunt.
Mm-hmm. And so he's like, maybe if I can take a little bit of control of the narrative, then maybe I can kind of fix it, because I think this is affecting all of them, and they have businesses. So I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. Like, it's crazy how this has kind of ricocheted into the real celebrity world. Like, I'm honestly still stuck on Howie Mandel. It's weird.
Well, and that's actually what Howie. Like, I think why Howie was down for it, because he kept saying, like, I get, like, Bravo has its celebrities. He's like, I get that. And, like, there's always crazy stuff happening in the Bravo world. He's like, I don't know about it, but my daughter watches it. He's like, I was more, like, taken aback by how this became international news. Because genuinely, I don't watch Vanderpump Rules. I don't watch none of it. Could care less for it. Honestly, really could care less of this. I haven't even gotten to the main topic of why I talked about it, because I had to go back and watch, episodes from this season to be like, let me just see. And then because I do listen to Juicy Scoop too, and Heather be having Lala on all the time. And so I really knew Lala, and I was like, oh, she's cute. She's pretty. She a Virgo. Okay, I like her. But then, as I was watching the episodes and then, like, reading up on it, and I'm starting to hear like, okay, well, wait, she slept with James while Rachel was with him.
She's done a lot more than that, honey. She's broken up families before.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, girl, she was on Watch What Happens Live and deflected the question that we do want to know. We want to know, like, because at this point, you've slept with two men who were in relationships. Now, alcohol, yes, I get people have issues, problems, and things like that, and you have held your accountability to that. I mean, watching the show, Raquel looks like she has her own demons she's got to fight within herself. So it just feels like
She's trying to come up with a thought. Like, that's why she's always looking puzzled. She's trying to come up with something. I feel bad for her. There's nothing up there, guys.
For who? Raquel?
Rachel?
Yeah, or
For
Rachel, excuse me.
There's nothing up there, guys. She's really pretty, but that's about it. I think I think even like the girl that was like such as I think that the US shouldn't have maps such as I think that girl might be smarter than Rachel.
Courtney, what's your take with it? Because obviously you watched the show and Lala.
No, I mean, I've been a fan of Vanderpump since it came on. It definitely fell off in the last couple seasons, and this is hype and amazing.
Yeah.
And as much as they are the most incestuous friend group that has ever existed that I'm aware of, and I literally the episode of Katie and Schwartz's wedding was just on rerun or whatever, and Lisa Vanderpump made the comment that somehow they're able to figure things out and work it out. But the closest thing to this was Jax messing around with Kristen back in the day, who was supposed to be Stassi's good friend.
Yeah,
and so
I even remember.
Cheating is not a big deal. It's the idea that he cheated with her closest friend. Like,
Right.
For whatever reason, Ariana and Rachel were real tight. And Rachel is not really in the crew like that and hasn't been there that long for there to be any like extra width for her to like remain a human once she's done this. So they have turned her into a monster, and that's what it's going to be. I get it. If I were actually friends with these women, I would be right there like, F her, don't ever speak to her again, get her out, get her away from us, because she's acting like she got a personality disorder. Like the way she can like turn it on and turn it off, and I'm not into him, while she was simultaneously cheating with this guy like on camera is wild to me. But
that like Rachel duped us. She just straight up duped all of us. She duped America. She duped the producers. Like she was like, I'm gonna be the star of the show. She is Stassi now, and she's like, I had to fuck James for 2 years, and now I upgraded, and I'm gonna upgrade to the one that's has the biggest storyline. I'm gonna be the new Ariana. So in that sense, I'm like, Rachel is wild and crazy. But honestly, I think the uproar is I think it goes deeper than that. I think it's because it's Ariana. Because she's such a cool chick. And the evolution of Ariana on Vanderpump Rules is so unbelievably crazy, because the first season she was embarrassed of the show. She didn't want to be on camera. She would put her hoodie on, she would avoid the camera, and now like she's a huge star. She's going to be on Dancing with the Stars. She just got a Lifetime movie deal. So like she's getting something great out of this. So I think the witch hunt is a little bit crazy. Lala should really stop talking because she has no room to talk.
Yeah, and again, I think the friend thing, you're right. Like, Courtney, I agree. Like, if I was friends in this friends group, like, yes. But at the same time, and again, that's what I felt like Lala was doing. But then again, I watched Juicy Scoop, and even watching Heather, like, listening to Lala's responses, Heather was just like, okay, like, not believing the full story and the accountability. But whatever, I still was in my mind like, okay, she's just going hard for her friend. But then between the Watch What Happens Live, deflecting the question about James,
let's not act like a dick for a Range Rover, Lala. Oh, because she did.
Yeah.
But wait. That and her posting the picture today, or was that yesterday? With the covering the face up. It's like, are you doing this for your friend, or are you trying to catch on to the attention to kind of build, like, get a buzz out of this? Because Ariana's got Dancing with the Star, Ariana's got these other things, like, and if you don't react, what's your buzz right now? I don't know.
I mean, Lala Lala's that kind of girl that thinks she's like bossing up on people like, ooh, oh, fuck her. I'm your I'm your ride or die. I don't like that trick. Get her out of here. Like she thinks she's that person. So I feel like she's behaving according to what she's always done. And the picture though that you brought up, you talking about the wedding picture from Sheena?
That was a bad Photoshop job.
I think that alone is probably the most amazing thing that has ever happened on this show, because she literally went through her wedding photos and said, bitch, I'm going to airbrush you out and put a new bitch in your place. That I think was petty on a whole nother level, and I think it was amazing.
Fair enough. And, going to the Rachel, like, is Rachel a marketing genius, an evil marketing genius, or is there literally, like, again, like, I feel like there's something deep wrong within her, because even going back, if you go back to the episode where to Garcelle's son, like,
I'm telling you, she doesn't care who it is. She's like, I'm going to sleep my way to the top.
Yeah. Like, it was just like right in that moment, like clearly Lala was like into it. And then just her eye, there was like this weird, like on national TV girl, like I could see you thinking about sucking this man's dick. Like, and I hate to say it like that, but like low key, that's what the look that you were given was given. And it was like, oh, this bitch is deranged. Like she just is like, something is just off. It's giving eggshell, like once again.
Miscalculated. I think she miscalculated hugely. That like, oh, I can just. She thinks like she's living in the world of any press is good press, all press is good press. And I feel like from an audience perspective, she was not endeared to the Vanderpump fan audience enough to have this level of transgression and be like exalted for it. Like at some point, I don't know. Totally right. I don't think I don't think she did enough before leading into this to stick around and be an asset going forward.
Agreed. I agreed. I kind of am on that. Unless Tom gonna like put a ring on it, like which. He's claiming mental health issues. So
she was in the tornado of James for the longest time. She just got out of it. Now she's starting her own tornado.
Right. Yeah. Baby, take it to Kansas or Kentucky or wherever, because the Wizard don't want the Oz. All right, next, Melissa Gorga and Joe stay in the audience. Was on Watch What Happens Live. Were you guys able to watch that? Where Melissa is like trying to like, no, this season, girl, not season 179, you want to buck up and talk about bringing receipts, girl. Like Andy rolled his eyes at you, sit down, this is never going to get resolved, you have no receipts. Because when even just the fact that Dolores is talking about, wait till y'all see the receipts at the reunion, and why Dolores like shifted her mentality, I don't know, I just don't see it for Melissa. And watching them, oh, it's family,
it's so old.
I'm just like, you guys are giving fake. It's just giving fake reality. You guys are making me feel like everything was planned, scripted. Like you guys have like Sunday dinners and on Zoom and plan what this season's gonna be. You're gonna be mad about. Like it's just giving weird at this point. And I feel like Joe and Melissa might be out the door. What do you guys think? Could the show live without Melissa Gorga on it? Could Teresa still remain a main character energy without Joe and Melissa on the show? Courtney, what do you think?
I mean, I think so. Because I feel like after this episode, I can see the other ladies around Teresa making it entertaining. And I think that I can't speak for all the audience, but I feel like a lot of the audience is tired of the Gorga family drama.
Well, Ronnie sure isn't, but that's another story.
I mean, it goes nowhere. But I like, in answer to you said you feel like it's like fake and they decided what to be upset about for reality show. I still think most of it's real. And I think they honestly don't like each other and just constantly bicker about stupid shit, no matter what it is, when it is, how it is. They find something to be in a fight about.
Okay, but when I say fake, like, it's like, you know how, like, we'll get to Girls Trip, but like how Heather and Whitney, it's like 1 minute they're fighting, but then the next they're like, all right, what up? Like, off camera, or do you feel like there's that energy at all? Or do you think, like, they genuinely are just...
They don't like each other.
They don't like each other. Legit. Like, I think the fights are real, and I think they like make up and deal with each other, and then they fight again because they never actually solve what their issue is. And the issue really is that they just don't like each other.
Lean,
And they never
are you watching Jersey?
Yeah, I'm watching it, but they honestly just lost me because I agree with everything Courtney just said. Like, it's just it's exhausting. But you know what? Shout out to Ronnie. I'm gonna say Melissa's been looking beautiful this season. Even like even her just standing in the store when she was like doing the bougie, like the camera when she was like listening to them all bitch. I was like, she looks so beautiful. She's beautiful. But
Yeah,
honestly, I'm bored
the
with
work
Melissa.
she's had done
I'm
is
bored with
great.
I'm bored with all of it. Like even
Yeah,
Teresa and all of it. It's just so redundant. We've seen it for years. For years.
Well,
over
I feel
10.
like they're trying to wiggle some new storylines in. So let's talk about Jersey first, because I feel like we can just kind of bang it out real quick. Because I feel like this episode really tried to lay it out. This is the episode where I feel like, okay, the producers are over the Teresa and Joe stuff. Like they just threw it in at the end, and all the other drama. Like they really bring in. I call her Aiden over here because the Jennifer Stewart. I can't with all the Jennifers, but we get Melissa and Danielle talking with Aiden, talking about Rachel as a rat. And it's given like, girl, are you Tony Soprano? Like, what? I'm just, what's your take, Leon, on Danielle?
I like Danielle. I like Danielle, and I think she should just be a little bit more transparent with the exchange and be like, "Dude, we're on a TV show, and I was just relaying the information. Don't shoot the messenger. But if you want to go at it, we can, bitch." I would have just appreciated a little bit more transparency. As far as aesthetics, the black is too harsh. Let's lighten up the hair. It's giving Snooki Jersey, and it's a little too much. I like her dynamic with her husband.
What's your
I
take
like
on the brother story?
for Danielle.
Yep.
I believe it. Like Instagram is such a fucking big deal. Couples break up over that shit. DMs, like, are you kidding me? The gram is yes, I believe it's that petty.
Okay,
There's
come on,
nothing else
MySpace top eight.
that petty. Huh?
I said, come on, MySpace top eight.
Exactly. Like we all know how the internet can be so petty. So I think the girls being like, "Oh, that just can't be it." I'm like, "You're old. You just don't get it." Like everyone else knows. You know what I mean? Like, and Jackie's reaching. She's not on the show. So she's like really being Inspector Gadget.
Well, because she want to get back. She want to be back on the front holding her hip. I still can't get over the MTV True Life. I'm from Staten Island or whatever that was. That Danielle.
Is, yeah. But can I just say, Danielle is actually becoming my biggest disappointment, and I'm sad because I was excited for her in the first like episode or two, because I think she's choosing the wrong team.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Jennifer
her and Margaret would be.
I feel like her and Margaret would be savagely wonderful together. And I think that she's playing up this whole like, who Margaret and her arsenal. Like, it's just stupid. Like, and she looks dumb doing it. And they're like, her Fuda threw her under the bus. And now she looks dumb. And she's teaming up with Aiden, who Jennifer Aiden in this episode, for the first time, I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
She's doing everything to be Teresa.
Yep.
Speaking out of turn, saying wild left shit to cause fights between people, and dealing with her husband and all the like drama. She's setting herself up in a very similar way as Teresa to sort of, but I don't want to say take Teresa's crown, but she wants to be Teresa. That's why her obsession with Teresa is like insane.
I totally agree with that too. And you know what? It's giving Desperado vibes, like all the like you said, out of place comments. It's like the cards, like it has to fit perfectly for those kind of puzzles. So she should relax. But you know what I think? I think that she is also playing with fire. One of the best things about Aiden is her family, her marriage, that dynamic, and she is messing with that a little too much this season. But you're gonna piss Bill off, bitch, and he's gonna leave you.
I mean, he said maybe.
He's already trying to.
It's too much. Girl, calm down, Aiden.
Calm down, Bill. And with Danielle, I agree, you guys. But I think my thing with Danielle, where her disappointment for me is she's a nuck without a buck. Like she'll do the rah 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 rah, but there's no finish with it. It's like okay, and it just falls flat every time. And I feel like that's where she needs a Margaret, because Teresa and Aiden ain't gonna have your back. They gonna set you up to rah rah rah, but then when it's time to pop, they gonna be sitting back like, oh, she a mess, and
Yes.
you gonna be crawling back to Rachel like, girl, oh, let me come back into the arsenal. I'll tell you what they told me about Laura.
But you know what?
Which
Don't you think Marge is being a little too extra this season?
$1,000,000%.
Yes.
I'm just like, Marge, calm down. Why are you being so hard on Danielle? Like, and then like the thing with Jennifer and her, like, all right, she's just ready to go at 1,000%. Like, you're acting just like Aiden. Like, the best part about you was when we would clearly we would differentiate. I can't even talk right now. When you would like see the difference clearly between Aiden and Margaret, they both fire really crazy weapons, but like Margaret's a little bit more sniper. She's a little bit more calculated with
Yep.
it. So she could like kind of leave you on the back end, and Jennifer just can't have that. So she's swinging, pulling hair, biting. Like, it's two different kinds of fighting, but I just wish Marge would just calm down a little bit. It's too much.
But I think
It's
what happens on these shows is, and we see it time and time, because again, there was a time where I was team Melissa and Joe. I mean, not like that, but like enough to just be like, look, I thought you was sane. I thought you were sane. Like I thought we all knew who the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs were. And once you start putting the spoon and eating the Cocoa Puffs, like you on the same plane now at this point. And I feel like Marge she's in The Simpsons. Like she done.
But I would give Joe a little bit more of a pass, because I do think I agree with you. I was in the same spot with them. Like, he seemed like the saner one, but he's lost both of his parents in like the last 3 years. And I think that energy has shifted in his brain even
Fair
more.
enough.
So the tick that he already had has only just exploded even more. In Marge's case, she's just pissed off that this girl keeps going after her. And so she's stooping to her level. And it's like, girl, you need to be stronger than that, because you look a fool.
Yeah.
Boo boo.
And I think we've all enjoyed the Gorgas before, but I don't think we've ever been like, oh, we're going to be team Melissa. I think that's just wrong. But I think we've enjoyed the Gorgas for what they've given us. We've enjoyed them. We've appreciated them. We're
Yes.
kind of over them, though.
It's exhausting. And then I don't know if you guys saw, but Melania and her sisters, they all went down to go see Joe Giudice, who was in St. Thomas or
He's in the Caribbean now or something.
somewhere. And Aiden went on a little trip with them, like took them or something, and was in all the videos. Melania was calling her auntie. She got her some Louis Vuitton earrings. And I'm just like, the way they be throwing stuff in Melissa's face, I'm like, ooh. But
And I know we aren't to this part of the episode yet, but that last dinner, when they bring up the Gorga drama again, like, because we talked last week about, does Melissa actually care about not being in the wedding and all of that? And what makes me sad, and I think also why the Gorga drama is so exhausting, is because sitting at the table, I feel like I saw real feelings and
Yep.
actual hurt feelings on her face consistently. And I'm just like, that sucks, yo. Like, nobody, you don't want your family going out like that. But that's awful, because she looked like she was actually still in pain.
Melissa?
yeah, and I feel like that actually stemmed last week when Dolores made that comment, like, in which again felt
That was
weird.
crazy.
Don't you feel,
That was
Leon? Don't you
wild.
think that was weird? Of how I thought if Aiden said it, fine, but I thought it was really weird that Dolores just the excitement to tell. It's like, girl,
That was so wild to me. I'm like, I would have been like, congratulations. Like, what the fuck you want from me? Why are you saying it like that?
right. You guys
It was
all talk
so
behind my
wild.
back. You couldn't have left this one to talk behind my back.
Exactly.
I'd have been like, no one cares about being in that stupid wedding, okay? Go back and tell her I said that.
So the
Yeah.
girls go to Ireland and they stay in this 400-year-old castle with 9 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. Look, not for me. Like, it looked like it smelled. It looked like it smelled. It looked like a bed and breakfast. Like the Aiden's room, she had the best room, even better than Teresa, better than Dolores. Personally, that's how I feel. But the bedding in most of those rooms look stiff. and smelling like mothballs. That's what it was given for me. Like,
I've
just
done it before.
you went to Ireland.
I didn't go to Ireland, but I went to northern Scotland, and it's
Mm.
all country like that. And I stayed in a castle, and it is beautiful. But let me tell you, I'm totally Melissa Gorga. At nighttime, that shit was terrifying. Like the library is so beautiful. You're like, oh my god, it's like Beauty and the Beast. It's just like all these books and then like the baby piano. And then at night, it is fucking terrifying. You can't see anything outside, and like the cabin squeaks. I mean, the castle squeaks. It makes noise. Like the butler, like his room was in the wall. Like it was crazy.
Not in the wall.
Yeah. It was like a little like quarters for him, and he was like, "You want to see where I sleep?" And he like pushed the wall, and it opened to like a little spiral staircase, and there was like a cot at the top with the
Come
little
on,
window.
Harry Potter. Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a real castle. But that shit
my
is
goodness.
scary as fuck.
And what's it called? You said what, Courtney?
But I love a good castle, but you're not wrong. Like all those castles at night, like all these secret passageways, they used to have like tunnels and stuff. Like it's creepy. Ain't no street lights. Like it's rough.
No, and definitely would not be sleeping in a room by myself. Like we all gonna camp together. So
Right?
bring the stiff sheets. We're gonna pop them into a tent. Jen Stewart fucked Tony Soprano. We found that out. And
why did she have to tell us that? That's a weird flex, girl.
A very weird flex.
It was kind of fun. I kind of liked it. I was like, okay, Fessler, get it.
But she like made sure that we knew because she was like, like he was definitely inside of my vagina. Like,
yeah, okay, that
too much.
Like I was down for it at first. I was like, oh, that's kind of like you said, a weird flex, but a flex. But then no, he was definitely inside. Well, girl, yeah, you just told us that, so awkward. Speaking of telling us that,
they asked her.
They did ask her. To be fair,
yeah, they did. They were like, "Did his penis actually go inside of you?" And she's like, "Yes, twice." And then he never came back.
He was done after he went into that 400-year-old castle. No, I'm just kidding. The next morning, Dolores tells the girls that, look, we're in Ireland. We can't be doing the most out here, as if the girls are going to listen to that. They all sit down, and Jackie calls out that she feels like, what's her name? Aiden called the coffee woman. And it turns out, and
so stupid.
I think we all kind of knew that. And then Aiden went into a spiral because Teresa basically called her out and admitted that she did call her. I mean, I didn't say anything. I just told her that we got into a fight. And then I happened to just tell her that, yeah, I am kind of successful. And then, I don't know. Actually, you know what? I don't even know what I really said to her. I might have had like a 3-hour conversation with her, but I didn't say anything. And I would never.
Aiden. Make sure you say endorsements. She just
now
it was all weird to me. It was all reaching. But why did they go to Ireland? They could have went somewhere fun. They need to have fun.
Well, that's what I didn't understand, them tying Polly into this. They're like, well, Polly's from Ireland, so let's go to Ireland. Like, what?
That's why Dolores is trying to give us another piece of her life, because for so long it's just been about Frank.
She's like, I'm determined to show Polly that I'm like not into Frank at all.
Did Polly pay for the $400 castle?
You might have, child, because she said, "Hand me your card" when she was looking at the computer.
Oh,
yeah, but that's all fake. Like, everyone knows Bravo pays for the cast trip. Like,
fair enough.
And they always say, choose it, bring it up organically. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this whole avenue of like Dolores picking because of Polly, like it's why.
Okay, my other thing is, do you feel like they didn't pick someplace tropical because we got girls trip happening? I don't know. I was thinking like something like that. Like, I'm like, will it feel like a girls trip? So they picked like a totally different type of scenery. And it's like, I don't know.
Didn't Orange County go to Ireland? This isn't the first Housewives to go to Ireland. Like, and they had a great trip. New York.
And that was, yeah, you're right. That was fun. Kelly Dodd chased Tamara in the street, and Tamara was like, "I will fuck you up."
Good times. There are good times to be had in Ireland. There are bars everywhere, pubs everywhere.
And lots of
Tamara was like, "Don't ever
drinking.
talk about my daughter again." And then she like hyperventilated in the car. She was like,
Amazing.
And then we get into the Laura conversation where Aiden says, "Look, I might have told her stuff, but I would never. I swore that I would never talk about Laura, or the L word and what she said. I won't even bring it up here." And then continues to go to the bedroom, and like Danielle didn't even have to like get the whole sentence out before she was like, "Well, I'm just gonna tell you, like, yeah." All of a sudden, like one time, Margaret knows that Melissa was making out with another guy, and we heard it, and we were horrified. And now Danielle's like, "Oh, I wish I didn't know this. Oh, girl, you wanted to know so bad, and now I know this tea, and now I feel like I'm in the middle. You're not in the middle of anything. You literally aren't in the middle. Forget it. Literally, just forget it if you don't. But you know what's going to happen? Forecasting. Guess who's going to spill the beans? Mm-hmm. It's giving Danielle.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Melissa actually made out with someone taller?
Isn't this a rumor though that was something that supposedly happened like 5 or 6 years ago?
Isn't this the rumor that Teresa already kind of has brought up?
I'm pretty sure. Stupid. Yeah.
They're all famous. Everyone knows that you can't do anything like that. They're not Juan Dixon.
They're not Luann at the exactly. What hotel was that?
Bitch, if I make out with someone, they're Regency.
The Regency.
I mean,
they're like, picture. They even got Julia from Real Housewives of Miami, fucking Larsa. I heard you were making out with another man, bitch, at the Four Seasons.
It's so stupid. Even if Melissa did do it, not unlike Julia in Miami, like I'm sure Joe knows about it and they figured it out between them and okay.
So and also, it's like, again, I believe this is the exact same rumor that Teresa. I just heard. I'm not. Or her and Aiden in this whole. I'm not spreading rumors. I'm just telling what I heard. That's called spreading rumors. Like, and if someone just told what they heard, you would think that was them spreading rumors too, Teresa. Like, just cuckoo. And but my thing is like now it's becoming a story because now they just want to place the blame. They want to put a wedge between Margaret. This is to hurt Margaret, not even Melissa. Melissa's just a duck and duck hunt at this point. They ain't even aiming for her. She the frisbee. They aiming for the duck, and the duck is Margaret. And Melissa, they ain't even worried about you, Melissa. They like, we already took her down. She already heard this from us. We're gonna drag her through the mud again, and we're gonna put it on Margaret. That's all this is, personally, I think, because Aiden cannot stand her. Like, she will turn every conversation into how she is a witch. And whatever that is, whatever evil thing that is within you, Aiden, girl, like...
But I think Aiden secretly loves Marge, and she just wishes they were friends. Because, like, when they go hard, they just go hard. But the thing that has happened is, once it hurt her children, and, like, Olivia started acting out and was like, I want to be a love therapist. Like, she's like, oh, hell no. This is what you've done, bitch. This is what you've done. Now I'm going to fucking get you any chance that I get. So, like, Marge and Jennifer, that'll never happen now because it has affected Jennifer's children. And now it's like a different story. That bitch is going to go crazy on her forever now.
That's just because she ain't happy in her own relationship. Or she want to be happy, but her man ain't.
She's redirecting. Like, yes, she's upset because the kids now know and all that. But in general, she's just upset that she has to deal with all this because she has never had to deal. And she's never had to make Bill take responsibility for it because she just stopped dealing. She didn't deal with it. So she mad. Girl, it's
another Bill, weird thing that happened. You said what?
At the time, when it happened, they weren't on TV. It was like the early 90s. I'm sure he was like, what are you going to do? Leave? And she's like, no.
Right.
Not early 90s. Was it?
Wasn't it? I don't know. Okay, 2000. I'm sorry.
Oh, it had to be the early 2000s. If it was the early 90s, girl, that Bill got some real plastic surgery skills, child.
Okay.
I'm a fan of Bill. I like Bill.
I do too.
I just feel like he's stressed out. Like, she would stress anyone out.
married to Iden. He's stressful life.
Yes. But
Speaking of
I will
stress,
give her, sorry. I'm
yeah,
like, I will give her some compassion, because if you at home with 5 kids all the time and doing all the child work and in that house, and he coming home chastising you like you a child about how you doing the work with the children, I would have a problem with that too.
fair enough.
She's like, bitch, I'm a star on Real Housewives of New Jersey. Can I get a maid, please? Damn.
I mean,
For real.
hire one girl the way you do
Why
all
don't
the
you
time.
have a maid? Exactly. Like, you have 5 children. Like, you can do all the children stuff.
And you
'cause
live in a
that's what you want to
castle.
do. Yeah, but let somebody else clean the damn house.
Girl, she
Well,
needs to and arrange that furniture in that
you know,
house because I can't take it.
some people live in that world where, they're supposed to do it all. If they're that home wife, they should be cleaning and cooking and doing every single thing. And that's a lot of work, y'all.
It is. Fair enough,
We
because
need to let go of these traditions. I say it all the time on my podcast, Everyone is Terrible. We need to stop the circle of like toxic, like we need to cut it. Like, stop the generational toxic. It's not a circle anymore. We need to stop it.
Yeah.
We're stopping it. We're not continuing the generational trauma. We're stopping it.
fair enough.
Amen.
But at the same time, I will give this to jump on Aiden's team a little bit with that. Like, I definitely went back home to be around my brother and his family just to make sure that they didn't bring no one in to be around my nephews. Personally, like, I was like, I'll go. I'll do it because I don't know. There is just something about like, I mean, fine. You want to get a cleaner to clean up, fine, okay. But I want these.
I mean, I'm your own kids if you feel, because people shady in these streets these days and have been for quite some time.
I mean,
But
Dalai
dang,
Lama
that's
out
a
here
big
trying to get his tongue sucked. Oop.
exactly.
Protect your children,
At
not
all
from drag
costs.
queens, but from the freaking Dalai Lama and governors and politicians. Okay?
Okay. And maybe even from Danielle, because what was with Danielle wanting to send a picture of her cleavage to Joe Gorga?
Are you kidding? I love this.
What?
I was like, thank you. This is finally somebody that just wants to have fun at the party and not fight about dumb shit. Like, oh, this is a joke. Oh, what he gonna say? Like, that was great. And I love that Joe was like, girl, I know that's not you. Who titty is that? I thought it was fantastic.
Well, 1,000,000%. Because I mean, also like Danielle's giving like overly burnt suntan skin versus like Melissa's nice tan skin. But I think for me it was just weird because it was like you just got this tea. And I'm like, it just felt more messy than fun, personally. Like, if she did it to, like, Jackie, because Jackie's man's fine. So, like, if it was like that, sure. But, like...
I think based on the conversation and how everybody was like, ew, why would you do that? And Rachel Fuda girl, she said, oh, we've been married for 6 years. It looks the same. I'm not going to do that. I'm like, girl, you ain't going to hold on to that husband very long if you that cold about it at 6 years. Like, it's just funny and cute and being like fun.
She should have sent it to Louis, see what Teresa would react to. How Teresa would react.
Teresa would not have that.
Teresa's face would have been like, I think not.
Like, no,
I think not.
And we'll see if he recognizes mine. That's it.
And then we get to the whole Teresa says she never throws Joe under the bus. And Melissa is just irritated. And at this point, like, girl, stop playing ping pong. Let Teresa say it and carry on. But you heard. You heard.
Wait, who's cuter? Who's cuter? The new husband, like Danielle's husband, or Rachel's husband?
Definitely Danielle's husband.
Yeah. Because Rachel's husband with the painted beard, we just can't.
Yeah, I can't.
Rachel's husband looks kind of like Baby Yoda, but without the ears.
And with a painted beard.
With a painted beard.
That's
But
what it's giving.
Seems like a real good dude, though. I like him.
100%.
Oh, yeah. No, please don't be mad at me because I actually like you.
I do like
He
him.
seems like he'd be like, this whole party right here, I'm going to get their tab right here. Doesn't he just seem like that kind of guy?
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
But he
like, I'm gonna get their drinks.
his grays. If he accepts his grays and we get like a nice salt and pepper beard, and like he'd be real cute.
Yeah, because he needs a beard.
He definitely needs a beard because he don't look like he got much of a chin.
Right.
Yeah, he needs a beard. But Rachel, that black hair is so harsh.
It is so harsh.
It's
But I thought
so
that was kind of
bruising, so harsh. Like, girl, lighten up your hair.
And maybe it'll lighten up your personality. All right, let's get into girls' trip because whatever. Pepsi's pissed. Pepsi was pissed at these girls because he he needed to talk to the girls. He had a spirit within him, and Portia said, "Yes, girl, let him use you." I was dying at Portia's commentary this entire episode.
I miss Portia.
Don't
Yeah.
you? I do
Yeah.
too.
I'm back. She's
She's bringing me joy.
What's your
She is.
what? All right, so we won't do a list, but Liam, what's your overall take on this girls' trip? Knowing that we already know who's in the next girls' trip, like, do we feel like Bravo felt like this was gonna fall flat on its face? Do you feel like it's fallen flat? We're at the end of the season.
No. See, well, okay. So here's what I think. To answer exactly what you've just said, I do think that Bravo thought it was just going to be a hit because the thing with Bravo is they're trying to keep up with all the new stuff that's happening. So that includes hiring really, really young guys and young gays and like these new kind of like gung ho housewife gays, which is great because they get that young opinion, they get all that young perspective. But the thing is with the new young gays is that they have a lot of loyalty and they don't want to do anything where it shows like, oh, she's going to take accountability or maybe Kenya really is terrible or you know what I mean? They just don't they're always like, no, they're all perfect. And it's like, they're not perfect. Like, this is not what we started. We started this shit 20 years ago before you were here. And we used to celebrate bad choices. Like, we made them stars by celebrating their bad behaviors. So I didn't think that they thought it was going to be a flop. To be honest, I thought this is going to be great. It's bad casting, but whatever. It's happened. It's here. Let's talk about it. I do like it though. I do like it because there's stars in it. You know, as long as you include some stars, it's gonna work. But those stars are working over hard. They're working overtime. You see Portia over here saying, "Leah, go home then. If you ain't having fun, you don't want to get to know us. Go home because I'm over here working." That's what she's saying.
Right.
You know? And I'm glad Portia's back. She's a star. She deserves to be on TV. We just don't need her family because that show, no.
Yeah, no, 1,000,000%. I didn't watch it. I don't support most of those little side tiffs.
And I'm actually liking this season. Leah's boring. I love the girls of Miami. I think Giselle's being Giselle, so it's working. Candace is bringing no game for me. It's just like this is what we're seeing on Potomac. I don't want to see her and Giselle fight about Chris. I don't even want to hear the word Chris. Like, I don't want to. No, leave that at Potomac. I don't know why Candace is dragging it over here. I know it happened like within a 2-week span, but this is a new show. We don't want to see stuff on Potomac. And
Fair
Heather
enough.
and Whitney are boring as hell. And Heather's by far the biggest disappointment to me in Housewives.
And we gonna get into that. All right. So within this, the girls, I mean, honestly, I feel like what happened at the beginning with Pepsi, and again, I hope we really do get footage of this. I think Pepsi threw the tequila bottle away. I really do, and I feel like he knew or he knows exactly what happened to it, and he don't want to bring it up because he don't want these girls to he don't want it to turn into something, and I think he's scared personally. But then it moves into.
What did they ever think about? Maybe they just ran out. They were all drinking it the night before.
Well, yeah, that's what Courtney thinks 100%.
It's definitely gone. There was no tequila left in that bottle, which is why Pepsi lost away.
And hopefully, and we don't even get a reunion for the show, so who knows where we're gonna find that bottle. Everyone in the comments, let's see. We got Dustin saying Portia is killing the season with her commentary. It's the highlight. Yep. Poor Leah to buy Leah. Chef's kiss. Yep. Nicolette says, "Oh my God, I love Heather. Ew, she's giving what? Desperado."
Redemption episode. I think this episode she redeemed herself a little bit.
Oh, we're gonna get into it because I 1,000,000% feel the total opposite way. But all right, so Marisol has her little cocky party, and it's just drinks named after dicks at this point. We got extra stiff cock for Leah. Leah gets the limp cock. Porn star drink. It was just interesting, but very in Marisol's way. They had a Mama Elsa dinner. And where Giselle brings up the Leah feels like Portia hates her. Leah says she's not bothered, but knows that it adds, we shouldn't be feeding social media. Girl, you on a show. And as a matter of fact, I think you should leave. I think you should have left probably the second day.
That she didn't get tagged. I'm telling you, they brings out the pettiness.
Upset, child.
I just feel like after the first time you talking about your vagina hot, you having diarrhea, and you vomiting, like, we need you to. COVID happened not too long ago. Like, first of all, we need you to leave. Not even because we don't like you, because what's going on? Like,
wait, hold on. She's not wearing underwear though. How about that part? She has her period and diarrhea. She passed out in the store, and she's like, "Wait, I don't have underwear on. Why don't you have underwear on?"
Yeah, we still asking that question.
And again, there's a whole lot of whys and no answers, and that's why it's like, look, sanitation reasons. Unfortunately, it's giving Shark Tank. I'm out. Like, and you need to be, girl. But
not Shark
Leah
Tank.
bye. Leah bye was my favorite commentary.
That was great.
The whole girls trip, because it was just Portia coming to the realization, like, girl, I ain't even gonna do this with you.
Yes.
Like, actually, Portia, I kind of do like the Portia and Candace, whatever that is. And I feel like Portia looked over at Candace and was like, girl, you love me. You want me to suck up to you, and I'm not going to give you all that. But you like me, girl. And I don't hate you as much as I hate this white bitch over here. But that's what I feel like that whole back and forth with Portia and Candace was like. Because I do think that's exactly what Candace wants. Candace wants to just be liked. And if you don't like her equally the way that she liked you, then she's going to have a problem with it. And it's like, girl, you over here with doo-doo face. Like, no. Sorry, Candace.
Everyone just needs to have fun. They need to take a slice out of Portia's cake and be like, let's have fun. Like, let's be shady, be fun. Like, we don't need all of that. Candace she needs to just turn it around and just be like, Portia, what can we do? Can we be friends now?
But do you think Leah was, like Portia said, she was trying to create a, what did she say? She said, you're trying to create the I was there moment. Courtney, what do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's what Leah's doing, or do you just think that this is just naturally who Leah is? Do you feel like she's trying to pull that out of Portia?
To a degree, yes. But also, I just think Leah, in the end, I think that Portia got to the correct conclusion. I don't know about the I was there moment. I think that obviously they're offended that they weren't tagged in the freaking picture because they want to show we were there and we're just as cool as everybody else because obviously they're on this show together. But I think that at the end, Portia's like, we just don't see it for each other, girl. I don't hate you. Candace tried to make it like, oh, we got beef. There's no beef. I don't see you like that. And I don't want you around me like that because your vibe is off. And I'm with that. And I'm glad she could say that. And that everybody seemed to understand it just fine, except Leah trying to be like, well, I don't feel it like with you either. So why are you offended? Why are you and Candace over here talking about it being bullying? Like, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. Everybody ain't gonna like each other.
Well, and speaking of that, then Heather brings up to Giselle that she feels that she's the only one that Giselle doesn't vibe with. And I'm like, girl,
Giselle,
you in your own world, but to be thinking that Giselle, you the only one Giselle ain't looking, because Giselle clearly don't care for Leah, surely don't care for Candace, and really don't entertain Whitney either. Like, all Giselle's worried about is, and shout out to Giselle for making it a thing that every morning she goes in that pool. Even before whatever they're going to start with, that woman says, okay, Pepsi, and I'm going to be in the pool. And you just let me know after that where I need to be.
What we doing?
And shout out to that. Now, all right, here's where I just feel like with Heather, it just was like, Candace was waiting for Heather to talk that shit that she was talking on the bus, which I was too. And she kind of did, but in a very like pick me way. And it's like, I need you to pick one. Are you going to really like lay it into Giselle the way you was talking like you was going to? Now, you were drunk that night. I will say that too. Or are you going to like fully go pick me mode, which you claimed? But I just feel like it's like, just say like, girl, I'm hurt. I want you to like me. I want everyone to like me. Like, I didn't need Giselle to try and pull that out of you. And it just was weird for me. Again, it was her reading Portia's book in the bedroom next to Portia. Like, I
She's
don't
a
know.
fan. Heather's a fan,
Yeah.
and it's a turnoff. We
Yeah.
don't need any fans, honey. We have stars here. We need stars. This is an ensemble of stars, not fans. Like, you know what I mean? She needs to
I'm
go
just
with
glad
it.
she finally stood up for herself a little bit and didn't cower. And she could articulate clearly that she was being a pick me and that that is a definite behavior that she has done in other places of her life. So I'm like, girl, you making strides. You making strides. You're going to be all right.
And I'll give that in her confessional, she did say something. I was like, okay, that's very self observant of you.
To get along thing.
Yes, 1,000,000%. Go with to get with. I was like, okay, make a T-shirt for that girl because you are the queen of
You are
that.
that person. Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense with
You
how
know who
you
needs to leave Housewife and start a Bravo podcast? Heather. There you go. Heather. Put Heather Gay and Heather McDonald on.
No.
No.
I know.
Are you really a McDonald's fan like that?
Heather McDonald. I love her. Yeah, I do. I
Oh
actually
my
do.
god, it's on my nerves.
I mean, no. Again, she gets on my nerves too, but it's but like enough to be still entertained by her theory. Like, would I be friends with her in real life? Probably not. But she's entertaining. I can listen the whole way through, except when she does the interviews with random people. I'm like, girl, we didn't need you. We didn't need the lawyer from someone's grandmother's death to talk about Marisol. Like, we don't need nothing about that. It's like,
Yeah.
you're not a journalist, but we appreciate your commentary.
I want to remain good in the Heather Gay though space though. I need that beauty lab when I go over there. You know what I mean? Like, inject me up, honey.
Make me beautiful.
Well, that's why I feel like she's gonna end up going broke because I'm sure all these housewives are on the same tip with that. That's why they are letting her be a pick me, and she gonna be out here giving free samples away. And it's like, girl, you gotta be making this money. All right. Then from that we got Whitney and Heather hug, and everyone was like, "That's so beautiful." And it's just like, as a fan watching the show, it's not because they haven't even filmed the reunion yet, and we know what happened at the reunion. And
But that's why it's so emotional because you're like, yo, we can squash this. The Snow Bunny cousins can like not be fighting about. It's sort of like the Gorgas. It's like hug it out and get it together, please. And it was like, oh, the Snow Bunnies kind of got it together for that minute. I was happy for them, and then they jumped in the pool, and life is good. This is what we want. We don't want to hear y'all fight. We're tired.
right,
What
yeah,
are you?
and that's why the whole reunion thing was just like, girl, not now. I know y'all was hugging up like this and being besties on Girls Trip.
But I will say that the roller coaster of emotions, I want to say, I'll say with girls just because we on a girls trip and being with girls, like, you know, it go through some things. That does also apply across the board, girls and guys.
Right, because I'm like, Saturday night, Saturday night.
That was real life. But I will say that girls trips and drinking, because we're on a girls trip, that like it happens. Like you're like, I don't want to fight with you, bitch. Like I love you. I love you too. Let's hug. And it's cool. It's great.
Yeah, it happens on Girls Trip. You occasionally get into these little tips, and you're like, "Bitch, come here, hug me. It's cool. It's all good." I was just in the moment. I was just getting a little buck wild with you. I was testing you.
Yes, we was just playing. We was just playing. We don't mean it. We love you, love you. Like,
Exactly. Do another shot. It's fine.
and then everybody in their bathing suits and started jumping in the pool. And Marisol put her whole like dainty little bathing suit on and came out and jumped in the pool. I was just like, this is joy. This is what the girls' trip is supposed to be. Let's just be having a good time.
100% agree. And then I just felt like they were trying to give this like to be Whitney's episode, like when she was trying to go to the temple in the Britney Spears outfit, and it was just like, what, girl? Then they go to the temple, and you know they gave their intentions to the monk, and then all I really pulled from that was Pepsi reading that fortune cookie paper, talking about word at the temple. Portia gonna have a problem with a lesbian.
No, and Giselle only gonna be.
I didn't see this last episode for Girls Trip.
You said what?
I'm behind one episode on the Girls Trip.
Wait, so you didn't see this one?
No, this one when they went to the temple, I did not see it.
Oh, well, yeah, they went. The temple basically told Portia that she gonna have an issue on the streets with a lesbian in whatever way that means. I don't know, but because Portia took it like, or Giselle took it like Portia gonna end up with a lesbian. I took it like she gonna have an issue, like she gonna be fighting a lesbian.
Of course, Giselle did.
I mean, I took a relationship with a lesbian too, just because of.
Let's leave Candy out of this. Candy's like, why am I in it?
Nicolette, no, you did not just say I thought Candy, because I did too. But like, Candy ain't a lesbian. They equally bisexuals.
Yeah, Candy. Yeah, they're both bisexual.
And at this point in time, Candy ain't never messing with Portia like that.
Right? Candy was like, I was gonna eat you out, but then you told everybody about it, so now I'm never gonna eat you out.
I don't think the Giselle and Portia dynamic, like the Giselle and Portia dynamic, Nicolette said. I mean, it feels forced a little bit. Not I wasn't scrolling through all these comments. Oh my God, y'all.
That thing.
But,
hey, I can't see Court. Can I see Court? I can't see Court.
Well, you can't. You can only see her when she come on the because I'm switching around. Otherwise, you just have to look at me. You should have the live program. Let's just talk about the programming here. But yeah, you should be able to see like a little box, and when I switch the keys, you'll be able to see whoever's speaking or talking. I'm assuming that's how it works. I don't know. I'm just over here on the control panel trying to host a show.
I've never seen any. You're like, I'm the technician as well as the host, and this is what I'm trying to do. So you're gonna.
But what you can do, and if you can't listen to it, and you guys are probably watching at home, you can go to YouTube.com and just stream us live. I'm not a fan of Giselle. That's really it, and we aren't either.
I mean,
yeah. Giselle's Giselle.
She has her job and her purpose.
Sometimes it's exhausting, but
because personally, if she was not on this season, this season then really would be, because you want to talk about who's doing the work. Low key, Giselle's doing the work on this.
Giselle's always doing the work, but it's like, girl, we haven't even gotten our assignments yet, and you're over here trying to FaceTime Jen Shaw. You're making Pepsi cry. There's like 30 shots in that bottle. Like, it is gone. It's been gone.
Well, just like Leah's bored, Giselle bored too. So she gonna.
Giselle is boring. Giselle is boring. It's like, girl, can you be somebody? Like, tell us who you are. Let's learn something about Giselle in this whole situation.
At this point, I don't want to know nothing about Giselle.
I want to know something other than that her tequila bottle is lost and that she is putting people on trial.
Maybe we need to put maybe Bravo needs to start a new show where they take 2 or 3 of the housewives and almost like a Love Island kind of thing and try to set them up, because I think at this point, I don't want
to see Giselle date ever.
I think that's all I want to see. I want to see Giselle be put in an awkward situation. What do I think that would be? I think it would be her dealing with
an awkward situation every day she's on this show. Giselle does not know how to deal with humans and humans with feelings or anything else.
Right, but now be on a show where it's all about men trying to pull that feeling out. Like, I don't know. I just think like at this point it's like the lean back and I'm gonna do all the deflecting. Like, I'm exhausted from it. I'm exhausted.
All we're gonna get from her on a dating show is about dick size.
Yeah.
Well,
who, Leah?
From Giselle.
Well, and Giselle, like the two of them, they should. That's the thing. They could just talk about that together.
Oh my God. Now, Leah has like this really crazy phobia of like micro penises, and I don't know what happened to her as a kid. Like,
we
already talked about it.
Yeah, we already talked about it. But Leanne, if you ain't never seen one
in the dating world, child.
Yeah, it's legit. Like, if you've ever seen, like, let alone a micro penis or just a really ugly one, like, it's traumatizing. Like I told y'all, I seen the Red Swan, and I was like, oh.
Honey, but I've been to the buffet before. I've seen all sorts of, but to have a phobia of it, I was just like, it's a little too much. But
I also feel like girls in dicks is different than gays in dicks.
That's 100%. So true. That's so true. It's so true. 100%. Plus,
and the escape, and it's a weird one, is much more challenging.
It is.
Trying to get away from it, like you gotta act. You don't know, like you there's a danger level that's different. in some
It
cases.
is. I
That's
personally
very
don't want to
true.
be split open, but
And you're like, oh my God, you got a micro penis. Get out of my house. Then you be dead. Like you just don't know. Like
That's
it's
true.
like it's scary. It's scary in these streets, y'all.
And see, that's why I just be saying, God be blessing me that I'm not dead yet, because get out my house. Ronnie says, dang, Giselle's an icon and nobody's seeing it. Neither is she. Moving on. Okay, here's what I never want. If my future man out there listening, don't ever take me to no tantric dinner like this. Nothing about this for me. First of all, we eating leaves. Like, this look like Hakuna Matata. Like, it ain't no worries for the rest of our days. Like, what is happening with this? Nothing about this look good to me, personally.
Didn't they have an oyster with all the
And
flavor?
did you see everyone's face? No one really said that was good. They all look confused. I love oysters.
Because that's the whole point. It's supposed to be like a bevy of flavors that go through and burst in your mouth. And oysters in general are a strange texture and feeling to begin with. Like, I think it's exciting. I like it.
Not for
I
me.
love oysters.
I love oysters. And if you've ever had the deep fried buffalo oysters, oh my God, they just explode in your mouth. But like, again, the leaf, the berries, the nuts, keep it at home. Like, I'll just open my planters. It just wasn't for me.
Seaweed, it's like, it's Asian food. Like, they, it's just, it's stuff. It's good stuff.
Fair enough. I also thought it was interesting the names, right? Because they said Hoy was oysters. And I also was like, ain't that the name of the man that was doing the cocky drinks? I'm pretty sure I wrote down Hoy, so interesting. His name was that. Then the one bite onion, nuts, and leaves was called Me Comin'.
Me coming.
Which I was like, that's interesting too. And then we get into, did the chef's dick look long and skinny? Heather says, a guy needs to know, or Whitney says, was it Whitney or Heather? That said, a guy needs to know how to use his nose. Oh, it was Whitney. And here's where Whitney took the wheel. And
yeah,
I mean,
use his nose.
I'm assuming like when he's eating her out, he got his nose in her booty, and that's how I was like taking that.
In her booty?
I'm not gonna lie, I know guys that like being sat on their face, like they like the booty hole.
That has to be like a reverse cowgirl kind of.
I was gonna say, are we 69ing like kids? Like, what is happening?
No, like legit. Like I've known guys that with straight guys with girls, like they'll want the girl to sit their ass facing, like sit their ass on the nose, and then they're just slurping it up. And so,
I mean, sitting on the face is a thing. I just not in reverse that I've known. So go ahead, y'all. Everybody got their own decision.
That's how I took it, because I've heard that before, and I was like, oh, all right. Now we sniffing the dookie. All right. Heather says
I like a big nose, though. I like a big nose on a man.
Oh, fair enough.
Definitely like a big nose. I'm good for a nice, strong nose. We with it.
Well,
yeah.
And Heather,
my booty, like it don't need to be in my booty, but like.
Well, unfortunately for us, that's all we got.
In my booty.
Heather says she's terrified of big dicks, and
she lying.
I don't know. Like, I low key couldn't understand it. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Girls obviously different. I would never know what that feeling is like. But like, sometimes in certain situations with guys, I'd be looking like, dang, bro, like, wow, you be doing all that? You be taking all that? All right, go ahead. It's amazing. It'd be amazing.
But because the stretch is different.
Right.
So that's just different. Now, if she talking about somebody walking around with a baseball bat, that's different. We ain't don't nobody want that. You don't want your whole uterus poked through past your cervix. Like we ain't nobody trying to do that. But
wait, Heather said that she's scared of big dicks. Heather said this.
Terrified.
But also, I'm pretty sure in that first season of Salt Lake, she was chasing around this black man talking about big penis.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
okay. That's what
he totally was chasing him around. I'm like, girl, you have the body type that like, a brother's gonna like. So like, don't be acting like you don't like it. We all saw season 1 and you were chasing him.
Exactly. And when Portia came and was like, girl, you look like you done broke a few.
Okay.
Exactly. I was like, what? I think she's lying. She's lying.
She definitely
Nicolette
is like,
says it's always the holy ones that are freaks. Okay.
Yeah,
exactly.
she
She
is
said
Mormon.
we don't want a bolo.
Speak for yourself.
Well, yeah, right. Speak for yourself.
I mean, yeah, if it's going down to your knees and your calves and stuff, and that's a lot. But
Don't bring a bolo. Portia is married now, and she don't want to remember that.
Okay.
she
Because
probably
Bolo
remembers.
smashed Portia and Tanya that night.
And swear she didn't. And then Whitney had her final moment where it's just like I gotta admit, guys, I'm like a freak, like, and I'm such a freak. It really affected my like marriage and like my love life because like he lost his job because we were doing like painting with our bodies and like we made a painting and snooze fest, snooze.
Yeah, I'm like, honey, that is not kinky. Y'all are some really vanilla people. You think paint is like no? You lost his job because they were like, we don't want our CEO in his underwear on Bravo. Like, what is this? This is embarrassing. This is cringy. It has nothing to do with kink. Real kink would scare the f out of these people. They don't know anything.
$1,000,000%. And I gotta say that who was a Portia that was like all the scenes, or they were all we're talking about, but all the scenes where they're trying to be like, I always go back to when Ramona would try to be sexy with Mario. Like they just cringe, every single one of them. I don't
I know.
remember a scene where it was like, it's just we
So
don't.
The only one who's a freak on that cast, Ultimate Girls Trip, Portia for sure.
Mhm.
Who else can I really think that would be a freak?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The way Heather was so ready on that stripper pole and slammed her coochie down on that floor, I
Oh,
was like, oh.
yeah, her too. I'm telling you, the Mormons. It's true. It is the religious ones that are freaks because the Mormons they don't have sex for like 25, 30 years at the beginning of their life because they're waiting for marriage. So like when it does happen and they do get it, they're like, oh my god, I didn't know what I was missing, and then they go ham, ham.
Okay,
That's why they have like
hamburgers.
12 kids.
Literally. I feel it. I just watched this movie, and it's an old movie called Sex Drive, and they have that. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but
My friend's in that movie.
oh, really? So
Yeah,
the
she showed her boobs in it. She's
oh
the girl that shows her boobs with the southern accent.
when they go to the Amish area.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, them Amish girls was
wow.
freaks, like just exactly how you just painted that picture. And baby, when they had that little festival, so I feel it. But we'll see. I think we got one more episode of Girls Trip, and these girls are ready to go home, and I don't blame them.
They
And
look
Makes
exhausted.
I just really hope that
Yeah.
we don't have to wait a long time before the next Girls Trip. That's really because I just feel like now it's feeling like old news, like the Caroline stuff. Like it's like.
Oh yeah, we need that to happen tomorrow, or it's going to lose its luster. But I think they're
100%.
trying to be
Um,
strategic, Jesse. I think they're trying to be like, we don't know how to play this because no matter what, like we're never going to be able to use Brandy again because she is going to be painted as like someone that sexually assaulted Caroline. And then we don't know how dramatic Caroline's being, but at the same time, you just can't tell people how to act or react. And like, if you don't want someone hugging and kissing on you, that is
yeah,
not right.
I
You know what I mean?
genuinely do not believe Brandy's gonna get
that's not right.
painted. I don't think so. I think we all know what Brandy's like. I think it's more like, why would y'all bring Caroline on this? Why would you bring this woman onto this
I
show?
know, but Brandy tweeted, she's
I
like,
don't
this
think
is some
it's
life
fair.
ruining shit.
You said what, Courtney?
I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. Like,
What?
why did you bring Caroline? I think that was an interesting choice that could have been interesting television, which probably is still going to be interesting television. But the end all be all of it is Brandy is very much so like, oh, I'm just playing and I'm just, but everybody don't play like that. You don't get to put your hands on people. And most of us
Exactly.
probably will think that Caroline overreacted. But in the end, you don't get to tell somebody like, in terms of their personal space, what's okay for them and what's not okay for them. So
Exactly.
and
100%.
unfortunately,
And I'm excited
Brandy
to see
always
her
does
reaction
this
to
thing.
that.
She always shoots herself in the foot, and we're like, damn it, Brandy. Like, why'd you? God, this is why we don't invite you over, bitch.
yes, And she's all like, that's what they hired me for, the party girl, the fun girl. It's like, yes. And at this point, girl, you are almost 50. You need to know who you can really party with and who you can't. Because some people don't roll like that. And you need to be able to figure that out while you're there. Be like,
Out of everyone on the trip, why would you want to hug up and kiss on
literally,
Caroline?
the last person, like the last person I would think, let me make out with Caroline because I think she'll be okay with it.
Caroline's like, bitch, I'm in my 60s. I have glass. Like, what? I have a family. Like, let me tell you something about my family. You don't hug up and kiss on us.
I don't know, but I want to see it. I'm excited for it. Again, bravo. This is the direction we need because I know we get in Atlanta.
Yes.
And I'm just...
The photo shoot was fire for Atlanta.
100%.
Fire.
But, and this is what I'm also going to say, photo shoots do not mean quality because I'm seeing this in the music world. Like, this is just a whole conversation. Now that you brought it, just bring me to this. There's certain artists that'll be like, oh, she's on the come up. Look at her. It's like, she just got a good photographer. The music ain't sound better. This ain't sound better. It's just, she took a good picture. She's a pretty person. So like, I hope that's not the case for Atlanta because it was a beautiful shoot. I'm just like, what are we bringing? Because last season,
I'm worried too. Hello, they brought back Sonya.
Yes, why? Even though I like her, but like, no.
No, I mean she's a nice person, but not for Housewives.
Right, no, and I'm also wondering, did they finish filming Atlanta? Because are we gonna see the Drew and Ralph stuff? Because if we're not going to see that,
the only one that deserves the peach as far as newbies. Like she's inducted, she's in, we're invested. He's a clown. We got to see it play out now.
Right, but if we got to wait a whole season to see it play out, absolutely not. Throw it all away. Throw it all away. Send them all on a girls trip.
Open the season with this shit. Open the season with Drew and Ralph just fucking racing the court to see which one turns into divorce. Drew's like, bitch, I want to get there first.
Amen. Well, we got one more episode of a girls trip, and I mean, just what feels like a road trip with Jersey Housewives till May 8th, and then we'll get Real Housewives of Atlanta. But Leanne, thank you for coming through. When Atlanta come on, we're going to have you come through again. Where can everyone follow you, listen to your podcast?
Thank you for having me. It was so much fun. You guys were both great. I love this. Love this, what you got going on. Come play in the playground afterwards, guys. Everyone is Terrible podcast. I just did an amazing interview with Sophie von Hasselberg, who is Bette Midler's daughter. We talk about the Met Gala, and I was like, girl, do people eat in there? Like, tell me what happens inside the Met Gala. It's a really fabulous insight on just like it's just two Hollywood actors talking about the business and how much we love it and hate it at the same time. It's fabulous, but it's all iconic TV, Real Housewives, Everyone is Terrible, and we always vote someone most terrible of the week. So I don't know.
You gotta go find out who it was this week. And they can all follow you at Everyone is Terrible.
Yeah, Everyone Terrible Pod on IG, Hollywood Leanne on IG as well. Come follow both accounts if you're feeling generous.
Yeah. Courtney? Always. Courtney?
Oh, hey, where am I? All over, wherever at Stuart Starlet.
Boom, you guys can hit me up everywhere at DJ Jesse J. Shout out to everyone in the comments. Let us know what y'all are thinking. Are we loving Jersey? What do y'all think about Lala? You know, is Howie Mandel the bad? Is he the bad guy? Is he the drama? Or is Lala the drama? And you guys can hit us up everywhere at Next Mood Swing across all social media platforms. Until next week, you never know who's going to stop by. Same time, same place. Peace.